Let's just dive right into this explainer, shall we? Today, we're talking about how literally transforming your physical bedroom layout can intentionally make room for love, deeper connections, and, genuine partnership. We're getting into the really fascinating principles of Feng Shui and applying them directly to the absolute most intimate space in your entire home. So, I want you to mentally stand in your bedroom doorway right now. Just picture it. And ask yourself, does this space feel like a sanctuary built for two, or is it kind of a shrine to your solo life? It's incredibly common to feel stuck in our romantic lives, right? But we so rarely look at how our physical environment might be reflecting that exact same feeling of being stuck. Feng Shui educator Anji Cho actually hit the nail on the head here. She explains why the bedroom is the absolute ultimate starting place for setting new relationship intentions. I mean, unlike your living room or your kitchen, the bedroom is deeply personal. It represents you at your absolute most private and vulnerable. So when we want to invite a partner in, or even just deepen an existing bond, well, this is exactly where the foundational work has to happen. Now, let's be real for a second. The crucial takeaway here is that this is not about casting magic spells or expecting Prince Charming to magically appear at your front door just because you shifted a lamp 3 inches to the left. No way. Think of this more like tangible, visible self-care. It's a mindful practice where you're actively ensuring your spatial design matches up with your relationship goals. You're basically clearing the path, not asking the room to do the actual walking for you.
Okay, moving into section 1, mapping your love corner.
We've got to start this room makeover by pinpointing the single most important area of your space, the love corner, or sometimes you'll hear it called the relationship corner. What we're really looking for is the kun area. In Feng Shui, this specific spot brings that grounded, supportive energy that you absolutely want in a healthy, long-lasting partnership. And because it's governed by the earth element, it's all about stability and nurturing support. So activating this area, that is step 1. Now, it's kind of cool because there are actually 2 distinct ways to find this corner, depending on the specific school of Feng Shui you follow. If you use the Western BTB method, it's super simple. You just stand in your bedroom doorway looking in, and the far back right corner, that's your kun area. But if you use the classical compass method, you're looking for the southwest sector of the room. Whichever route you choose, don't worry, both point to the exact same supportive energy.
All right, on to section 2, the commanding bed position.
Let's talk about the actual physical bed layout and see how this builds a solid foundation that protects your relationship. We're going to establish what's known as the commanding position. It really just comes down to 3 simple steps. And honestly, this is the single most critical rule to support both your partnership and your rest. First up, you need to be able to see the door from your bed diagonally, meaning you are not directly in line with the entrance. Second, anchor a solid headboard right against a wall. This represents a mountain behind you, giving you stable, unwavering support. And third, make sure to leave equal walking space on both the left and right sides of the bed. You're literally creating a balanced space for 2 people. But on the flip side of all that good energy, you absolutely have to avoid the dreaded coffin position. Traditional practitioners strongly, and I mean strongly, warn against having your feet point directly straight out the door while you sleep. So if your bed is currently set up this way, you definitely want to angle it or completely shift it to a different wall if you can. You know what's wild? This really illustrates how these ancient placement rules are totally backed up by modern clinical sleep science to ensure you get a restorative, intimate environment. The Cleveland Clinic actually points out that keeping the bedroom cool between 60 and 67 degrees Fahrenheit facilitates the stability of REM sleep. And good sleep directly supports a healthy relationship, right? It keeps both partners rested, sane, and emotionally regulated. And speaking of modern science backing up good bedroom habits, get a load of this number: 3 hours. Harvard Health found that blue light from our screens suppresses melatonin and shifts our circadian rhythms by a massive 3 hours compared to green light. So bringing those TVs and phones into bed, it's quietly eroding both your sleep quality and your closeness with your partner. Moving right along to section 3, decorating by the rule of 2. So once you've got your bed in that commanding position, we really need to focus on symmetry. This brings us to a huge fundamental Feng Shui concept for romance, decorating by the rule of 2. Basically, you want to display objects in pairs to signal to your subconscious mind that, hey, this room is built for a couple. We are talking 2 nightstands, 2 lamps, 2 pillows. A super classic Feng Shui symbol to include, maybe in your love corner or on a nightstand, is a pair of mandarin ducks. They're believed to mate for life, which makes them the ultimate traditional symbol of lifelong fidelity and devotion. Just remember, never ever display just one. Now you might be wondering, what if I'm currently single? Well, deliberately leaving one side of the bed and one entire nightstand completely empty is a profoundly tangible ritual. By literally clearing physical space on one side, you're showing your environment, and honestly yourself, that you are fully ready for someone new to arrive. Oh, and another really great addition to your pairs is rose quartz. It's widely considered the primary love stone, traditionally linked straight to the heart chakra, the energy center all about love and compassion. You might want to place a pair of these soft pink stones on that empty nightstand or right in your coon area to really invite in that warm, heart-centered energy. Actually, here's a wonderfully nerdy fun fact straight from the Gemological Institute of America. Rose quartz has a Mohs hardness of 7. Basically, that just means this love stone is genuinely durable enough to provide a lifetime of wear. It is perfectly suited for everyday display on your nightstand without you having to stress about it getting easily scratched or damaged. All right, section 4, clearing out the past. Okay, so we've added the good stuff. We've got our pairs, the bed is in command. But now, it is time for the purge. Let's talk about clearing out the past, because removing the wrong objects matters just as much as adding the right ones. It is absolutely time to bag up your ex's old hoodie or those dusty old love letters. You also really need to cover up or just move any mirrors that reflect the bed. Tradition says they can actually invite third parties into the relationship, and nobody wants that. Ditch the glowing screens and for sure throw out any dying ferns or wilting plants. You've got to clear out that stagnant chi that might be blocking fresh energy from coming in. And finally, section 5, warming up the romance. Let's talk about the visual vibe and the overall atmosphere of your newly arranged sanctuary. You really want the colors to reflect the exact intentions you've just set. Because the kun area is governed by the earth element, you want to build on warm neutrals and earth tones. This is going to beautifully ground your love corner. Then, to spark just a little bit of passion, add a small splash of red or blush pink for the fire element. But hey, remember to use that fire element sparingly. Too much red can totally overstimulate a room that is, at the end of the day, meant for resting. And look, if you rent your apartment, please don't stress about having to convince your landlord to let you repaint the walls. You can so easily layer color through simple renter-friendly swaps. A dusty rose duvet, maybe a pair of blush pillowcases, or even just a warm-toned framed art print. These deliver the exact same energy shift without risking your security deposit. So, you've commanded your bed position. You've cleared out the clutter of the past. You've balanced the room with the rule of 2, and you have set your intentions. You've done the real work to create a beautiful sanctuary. Which leaves us with one final, kind of provocative thought to take away from this explainer. Now that you've made the physical room, who are you making room for?